developments.
Yeah.
DeSantis a few days ago or yesterday said that January 6th was not an insurrection. Could you tell me some of your thoughts about that?
Well, look, Ron, it's really interesting because I don't know Ron DeSantis all that well. We didn't serve together as governors, so I didn't get to know him all that well. But I got to tell you something. He says something every day that just makes me go, what? He said about his education department changing the African American studies stuff, right? He said, well, I didn't have anything to do with it, and I don't really know anything about it. Well, boy, oh boy, that's leadership, isn't it? That's real leadership. This is a guy who signed the bill that made them have to go through that process. But now he says, no, I didn't have anything to do with that. And look, I've had a lot of fun with his response to your question about January 6th when he said, well, Quinn asked him the question, and he said, well, I wasn't in Washington that day. Well, none of the rest of us were either, dude. But we all had TV sets, and we watched. And you tell me you have no opinion because you weren't there? Look, I'm not at every Mets game. I'm at some of them. But I know enough to know they stink this year. And I don't have to be there to know it. I can watch it. So I think, look, here's Quinn. You know what's going on here. Here's what they're all trying to do. They're all trying to thread a needle. They want to beat Donald Trump, but they don't want to say anything bad about him. How the hell do you beat someone if you don't explain to people why you're better than he is? Why you deserve your vote more than he does? What he's done that is not up to the office that he's asking for. I don't get it. Don't reward that. Because if you reward that, wait till they actually have power, what they're going to tell you and not tell you. You go to people in New Jersey, any of them that you know, call them and ask them one simple question about me. Not whether they like me or don't like me, voted for me or didn't vote for me. Who cares? Ask them this. Did you ever wonder what he was really thinking? Was there ever a moment when he was governor where you said to yourself, like, geez, I wonder what the governor's thinking. Will he actually answer that question? My problem in New Jersey was that I answered every question. So that meant sometimes my approval ratings were at 75%. And sometimes they were at 20. Because sometimes the answers you give people like, and sometimes you give answers that they don't. But let me tell you what anybody in New Jersey will tell you. We never had to wonder what he was thinking. He always told us. That's what you deserve. And that's the character that you have to be able to put the country first above your own interests. Because there's some questions that you ask that I just don't, sometimes politically, like, oh God, is this the right question to answer? Are we watching Face the Nation? Sometimes, it's not like I'm dumb. Like there's sometimes questions get asked of you where if I answer this question, I answer it honestly, it's going to hurt me politically. Guess what? You pick this business, that's the way it goes. And what you hope is that you give more answers that help your citizens and help their opinion of you than hurt. And if you do, you get reelected. And if you don't, you don't. But either way, the sun comes up the next morning. Either way, I've won and I've lost. Winning's a lot better. But, I've lost and the sun comes up the next day. Don't put your self-interest there. That's the most important thing. Am I a Christian? Yes. I was raised a Roman Catholic, and I believe strongly in the principles that underlie my faith. But they are not, as president, more important than what I believe are in the best interests of the people of our country. They're not. They help inform the way I make those judgments, but they don't come before them. And nor does my party come before my country. What I hope to do is to lead my party in a way that our values are good for everyone in the country, even if they don't agree with them, that they'll still benefit them. So, yes, sir.